This is what if saying God 3. So this is how Izuku looks. If anyone is wondering, that's how he looks. I'm also gonna add someone else to the ship. This is the ship. She is also added to the ship. So her name will be Yui. Uh, she's in the support course because she doesn't have a hero quirk. So her quirk will be edit. Her quirk, like her quirk can allow her to edit people's quirk. You can either upgrade their quirks, destroy their quirks, or make it no longer able to work. More like it will like it won't be as strong as it used to be. So like for example, Mineta. For example, Mineta quirk. If she upgraded it can the Mineta like the balls on Mineta head will become can turn to spikes, and if she make it no longer, if she like degrade it, it will become it won't be able to unstick to things. So if he throws it, he cannot pull it off, and if he stay on it too long, it will stick to it. So so let's get into this. So once Akuno got one for all, Izuku decided to train her, but say sorry about that. So let's say something about her backstory. Her parents, due to her quirk, they always abuse her because they wanted her to have a hero quirk, a quirk that can at least defend them and make more money. But they never saw the use of her quirk, so they abused her. So while she was getting abused, she ran away from home and Izuku found her. Because Izuku is alone and she's kind of as same age of Izuku, so Izuku mother never really have the Izuku mother didn't really want another child or another child to take care of, so she never adopted her. But Izuku made her live at his house. So they had feelings for Izuku, but since Akuno came in, since Akuno and Izuku are together, so she decided to ask Akuno if she can join the relationship. So that's how she ended up in the relationship. So let's continue. Let's get into it. So when Izuku was about to start doing his training, Akuno asked if she can train with Izuku because she needed to learn how to use the power of One for All, and All Might is more horrible teacher than he can. So he never really taught, he didn't even tell her how to use the quirk. So Izuku had to start training her. So Izuku trained her. So it was time skip. 1 week later, Izuku managed to teach her how to control One for All through her body. So I'll teach her to combine the One for All and Lightning with her. Combine Lightning and One for All. So Akuno managed to get full Kaolin very quickly. So Izuku still went and trained with Superman and Darkseid. Oh no. I'm back now. Still, it's two side music come from, so this one is the lowest side so far, so it's going good. So Izuku and her began to start training. And now at least she can at least use like 5% of one for all. No, 2% of one for all. And she combine it with her lightning. It's very powerful because she already know how to use her regular quirk, so it is the one for all combined with that quirk now is very powerful. So they began. So the other one, the Yui, asked if she could train with them. She wanted to like build her body so it can so it can build her body so she can get more better reflexes. So Izuku started training, but he but they went to the DC universe, and she asked Ketuman if he can train one of his girlfriends. And Ketuman agreed. They say Ketuman and Batman are dating. No, they are husband and wife. So Ketuman started training Yui. So they began to start training. So Izuku had to go back and train with Akino because his strength. So they kept up their training. So after, let's say they got permission from Nezu, so they were off like for a month because like, they had to do an exam to prove that if they pass it, they can skip for how long they can. So they skipped for 3 months. Like the next exam is in 3 months, so they skipped. So for the next 3 months, they train. In the 3 months, Akino was able to use 5% of one for all, and Akino was able to use 5% of one for all. Yui is kind of getting better at, or kind of get stronger. So Izuku now is able to take on Thanos on one-on-one. You cannot take on Thanos, Superman together. So he had to like take on Thanos and Darkseid and Superman, but he can take Darkseid one-on-one. So they kept up. So after, let's say, the 3 months ended, Izuku is so they decided to go to USJ. Once they reached the USJ, Tekken gave her speech, and then the portal opened. So once the portal opened, and I think I did this, but if I didn't, this is what happened. I think I did do the USJ arc. If I didn't, then this is the part. So when Titan Fish gave her speech, Izuku saw the portal below open. So once the portal opened, a huge bunch of villains came out. Izuku told Aizawa, but before he could tell Aizawa, Kirishima said they even have fake villains. Mm, Aizawa said those are not fake villains, those are real villains. So everyone in the class was scared except for Izuku and Akino. Because Yui is not there because she's in support. She's doing a different test, doing a different class. They say that Monoma he had a crush on Yui. So doing the they say that Yui is in class 1B. So Monoma will not stop trying to make moves on Yui. But indeed it failed. So back to class 1A and Deku. Izuku splits shoot off, but as he splits and shoot off, Shigaraki Manchester what he moved, but Shigaraki cannot keep up with Izuku. So he made the normal come out. Because to them it looked like they could not beat this kid because he's too fast. So they took out the normal very quickly. So once the normal come out, he told him to kill the kid, but the normal couldn't keep up with Izuku either. Izuku he and the normal clash off. It was a very intense fight. The fight lasted for like 2 hours, no, 30 minutes. But Izuku did have the upper hand. It was because of the regeneration and shock absorption. It gave Izuku a lot of problems. Hold on. So the fight lasted for 30 minutes. Because of the shock absorption and the regeneration, it gave Izuku lots of problems. But Izuku didn't think about eradicating the brain. So Shigaraki was over there laughing his head off until he said, that Nomu was created to defeat All Might. But I can't believe a kid like you can manage to keep up with the Nomu. So when Izuku heard created, he immediately started to fight to try to kill the normal. Aizawa is not hurt, so Aizawa is fighting the low ranking, fighting the rest of the other villains. And Shigaraki decided to attack Aizawa. But Aizawa was beating him, so Akino decided to take on the rest of the other villains. So it's Aizawa versus Shigaraki, Akino versus the rest of the villains, and Izuku versus Nomu. So Izuku began to beat down on the Nomu, beating the living hell out of him. So Izuku then grabbed the Nomu, break the Nomu's arm, broke the Nomu's legs, and was about to crack his neck, but one of his hands regenerated in time and punched Izuku. Sent Izuku flying straight into the mountain area. This is where Momo, they were Momo, Denki, and I think it was Zero were there. So and some of the villains, but they managed to take out those villains. So before the Nomu could get up there, Izuku would get up and blitzes and fist the Nomu straight back to where they were. But this time leaving a big crater. Then Izuku then grabbed the Nomu by the head, threw the Nomu straight up in the air, let out a huge wave of laser, destroying every single cell of the normal. It will destroy the brain of the normal, sending the normal straight to meet his end. So his eyes were paining him because he never used that much power of laser before. So he had to like close his eyes and use his senses. But due to Superman's training, Superman teach him how to like sense the area around you. So Izuku then closes his eyes and began to like feel the area around him. So he uses his speed and knocked out all of the villains. And then he went and knocked out Shigaraki. But when he did, Alpha One came out and was about and wiped out Shigaraki. But before he could get out, Izuku punched him in the face. That managed to destroy half of Alpha One's face. But Alpha One managed to get out of there. So he thought that Izuku had won for all. So he decided to try to put a bounty in his head. But before he could put a bounty in his head, Izuku made a bounty that is very higher than his, because Izuku knew that Alpha One will probably come after him, because so before Alpha One could like put a bounty in his head, Izuku already put up a bounty. So, and it was more than enough for that Alpha One couldn't pay them. So Alpha One had to fight off the villains instead of the villains come to fight Izuku. But some knew who was Alpha One, didn't want their quirks to be taken away, so most of them came to him for Izuku. But before they couldn't, they said that Izuku had they said that Darkside gave Izuku. They said like Darkside had a hell dog, a dog with 3 heads. So like that when the villains came, they saw that big dog with 3 heads. One can shoot fire, one can shoot ice, and one can shoot earth. So once he saw those 3, like those that can sense the evil intention. So if you have any form of evil intention for Izuku, the dogs will attack you. But they had evil intention for Izuku, so the dogs, that dog attacked them, and they died. No, they didn't die. They got into coma. So they knew that the dog was it is Izuku's property, and they tried to enter, and they were villains, so they couldn't do nothing to Izuku. So I might add a little bit of 18+ in this part. I think about it. So Akino, why did never make that Akino and Izuku sleep in bed? They are sleeping in bed now, along with Yui. So after they finish, and they saw that Monoma saw that Yui kisses Izuku and Akino kisses Izuku and told him kissing on the cheeks. Monoma got jealous, so he has a bigger hatred for 1A but mainly for Izuku. So, but he know that he cannot do darkside. So he's like, you know that Izuku had more power over him. So if he tried to do nothing to Izuku, he could probably lose his chance of becoming a hero. Izuku I tell Principal Nezu that he might want Monoma to leave the school because his attitude is not very hero-like. This is like 1 week after the USC attack. So that's after 1 week after the USC attack, this started to happen. So let's say the school had to put them on break, but it was not as long as it was. So, but Izuku told Nezu that Akuno had to train some more along with Yui, and he had to train some more. Hold up. So after all of this, so after Izuku asked Principal Nezu if he could get a break, so Nezu said instead of the 2 weeks they got, Nezu gave them 1 month. But doing this, but while Izuku was on his break, Izuku managed to learn how to like build an area but give him more time to train. He said the hybrid body can train, but you will not get the same amount of time. Like 1 day in there would be like 1 week in there would be like 1 month. So Izuku trained there along with Akuno. So Akuno now is able to use 10% of One for All. Because remember that I made him meet Batman and Iron Man, so he's gonna be pretty smart. So he must learn how to build those. So it's not he built it; it was more like Iron Man built it. So Iron Man was the one who built him that. So after one day got home, I'm gonna leave it here because I'm gonna finish this. I'm going to the front, so it's gonna be a lot noisy. So I'm gonna leave it here. I left an announcement. Please listen to it and tell me if you want Izuku to be a hero or a villain. So next part will be next part right after I finish what I'm doing. Yeah. Also, please like and subscribe because I saw many people watching it, but no one was subscribing. So please subscribe.